Hey guys, what's going on? Troy at Mountain Man Treasure here, just off the bike actually. I don't have a hat, I don't even have sleeves, but while I was on the bike, I got a really good message on Facebook, on Instant Messenger, and right now we're headed to see a lady about a horse. There's like 6 of them.
Mountain Man Treasures.
What's going on, guys? My name is Troy. I'm a reseller in Montana. That means I go to garage sales and estate sales and thrift stores. In this case, I was trolling Facebook Marketplace. I find stuff that I think is priced low, and then I buy it and sell it again online for a profit. Now, this particular deal, I'm actually here waiting. She should be here pretty quickly, I think. I actually saw this. It was posted 2 days ago. I saw it early this morning, and I saw initially it had a price of $300 on it, and it dropped down to $250. And still, it's 2 days later, right? So I thought, well, I'll see. You know, a lot of times people don't mark things as sold on there. And I messaged her, and she messaged me back pretty quickly and said, hey, you know what? Somebody else is in front of you. But if that doesn't happen, I'll let you know this evening. And I hadn't heard, so I just assumed, well, you know what? Oh, well, I missed. Then all of a sudden I got a message and said, hey, could you meet tonight? Yeah, like, let's do it. When the deals are there, you got to strike. And so, yeah, I can meet tonight. Actually, I think she's here. Okay, that was her. And so I've got them. They're sitting over here now. We've got, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7. I didn't even know how many there were. There's 7 Trail of Painted Ponies figures back here, and I'm really excited. We've sold these before. If you've watched the channel for a while, you might remember me selling some of these. I've got one in here that's probably the best that I've ever found, and I just found it 2 days after it was posted on Facebook. You know, crazy. Now, we paid $240. She actually listed these at $250. When I messaged her tonight, I said, hey, I'm gonna have to go to the ATM. And then I thought, let me try something. And so a minute later, I messaged her and said, hey, that thing's only going to spit out 20s. Would you take $240? And she said yes. So we saved $10. I think we're going to get all of that back from just one of them. So let's get them back. We'll take a look at them, and well, we'll learn a little bit about them together. So here we are. Here's the herd. This actually back here, this one's mine. It's not part of the herd. This is part of the mountain herd. This one probably worth, I don't know, $25, $30 if I wanted to sell it. This is Westward Ho. And you can see it's got all the, like, you would put stickers on luggage and stuff. Pretty cool. Though it is actually, and we'll show you on the bottom of these, this gives us a nice one to look at here. See the 1E right there? That means first edition. So this is the first edition of this particular horse. Now, they release 10,000 copies in each edition. So it's first edition and number 1429. So relatively low out of 10,000, right? And you can see there's the artist on there, or artists. This one from 2010. They started the Painted Ponies back in 2003. So if you find some back from further back, generally those are worth a little bit more. We'll talk about the ones that are worth more money here in just a little bit. Actually, we have some of them sitting here on the table. But just like anything else collectible, early is good. So this one, first edition, this might be worth a little bit more. Let me set him down, and then we'll look at the ones we just picked up. So why don't we start right here, I guess, because this is one, if you're a longtime viewer, you might remember I've picked up Lovey-Dovey before. This is one, obviously, a Valentine's Day horse, and you got the little Valentine's Day card down there. And the one I picked up, and I think I got it for like $5, it didn't have the reins, okay? So I bought this, and I sold this one without the reins. I got $100 for it on Mercari, which is not bad, right? So I might list this one on Mercari again, just because for whatever reason, this one does sell pretty well on there. I'll check the others and see the pricing on them. But lovey-dovey, let's take a look at the bottom here. And there you go. This one is a first edition as well, number 3375. Sometimes you will see the artist has signed these, and those are more rare. They didn't sign all of them. So the tag is still there on the bottom. It was $53 when they bought it back in 2012. And lovey-dovey, there is only one of them listed right now, actually, and they are shooting for the moon, or a little past. They've got it listed at $699. There's one listed, 3 sold. Like I said, the last one I sold at $100. They don't sell as high as what that guy has it listed at. They just don't. When you've got the only one, you list it high, certainly, and you wait to see what happens. But this one, I would anticipate I can get between $150 and $200 for. $150 is a little bit more realistic, but since he has that listed at $7, $200 would look awful nice next to that. So I might be able to get a little bit more because he's got the only one listed right now, and it's priced really high. So lovey-dovey, $150 to $200 on that one. This, you can see dust. These her ex-husband started collecting these with her, and they would get a new one each year. Well, she finally decided she didn't want them sitting around anymore, or maybe her new husband decided that. I'm not sure. But Crossroads is the name of this one, and I think this one's really cool looking. Turquoise and the black, and the crosses obviously stands out. It's bedazzled. So, pretty cool. Let's take a look at the bottom, because I haven't looked at the edition on any of these, actually. This one also, a first edition, so that's going to help us out a ton. 2013. So, first edition on Crossroads. And Crossroads, it doesn't sell as well. There are 4 currently listed. 2 of them sold in the last 90 days. I would anticipate getting between $100 and $125 for this one. And again, we paid $240 for everything, so we're right about $35 into each of them. So over here is the artist. This one I'd not seen before. And again, a first edition. So far, so good on the editions. And look, this is number 933. So very low number in a first edition. That's going to help us out. But this one, not super collectible. Well, not super desirable. They're all collectible. Now, not all painted ponies. Don't go and spend a whole bunch of money on all the painted ponies you see. There are a lot of them, like my guy back there, that it just isn't worth a whole lot. The newer ones, and like I said, there are 10,000 in each edition, so there's lots of them. It's just the older ones and the retired ones that tend to be worth a lot more. So the artist, a first edition on this guy, and there are 3 listed, only 1 sold in the last 90 days, though there are some on Terapeak that have sold. I would anticipate, the one that sold, they had $100 free shipping. So I think if I put him around $70, $75 plus shipping, we ought to be able to get that, especially with the first edition. So this probably the least valuable that we picked up. Next over is Panda Paws. And see, this is like, 3D. It sticks out here, the pandas. Super cool. Show you the other side. Really very neat. This one, first edition, and number 697. Again, a very low number. These all started out, incidentally, as full-size horses. The artist would paint an actual full-size pony or a horse, and then they get turned into the smaller versions of these. They also have ornaments. I've seen table lamps, actually, and this is something I believe still produced today. So these are still getting pumped out. That's why you will see these. And sometimes, like I picked these up, that it's just in one lot. But like I picked up Lovey Dovey at a garage sale just by itself. You will see these at garage sales, guys. So Panda Paws, this one, pretty cool. There are 2 listed, none sold in the last 90 days. But there is a sold on Terapeak back in September for $150. So the 2 that are listed right now are at $250 and $300, which is just, I think, too high for this particular one. So considering we've got a first edition, we can undercut them and still make very good. I think if we do $150 plus shipping, we ought to be able to move that guy quite well. Let me move these two, and we'll keep looking. All right, don't fence me in. Unfortunately, I realized about halfway home as I was glancing over at them that this one had some damage to it. I had asked her, of course, beforehand, are there chips, cracks? She said no, they were just on, sitting on display. And I don't believe that she knew that there was. This is one that just got chipped. Maybe it got chipped while she was putting it in the box. Who knows? These things are very delicate. They're very easy to break. Unfortunately, they don't have the original boxes. Obviously, with those, they would sell better, and they have some foam in there to protect them. They also originally came with story cards. There's a little string and then a little card like this size. You open it up, and it's got the story of the artist and of that particular horse. Those make it more valuable as well, but there is damage on Don't Fence Me In, which is a shame because this is a good one. See, the ear got snapped off right there, and also right there on the mane, that tip got snapped. So that's a bummer. I think it's still sellable because it is one of the more desirable horses and more collectible. And let's see. Yeah, it's a first edition and a very low count as well. So that's going to help us out. And the nice thing is, it's the ear on the back side, right? Because you're going to display it with the plaque sticking out. So this still displays well, right? I mean, this shows a little bit, but it displays well. And it's a good entry-level piece if somebody's trying to build their collection or a placeholder while they're waiting to get a better one. And like I said, it's not awful. You position it right on the shelf, nobody's really going to notice. I do think that this is still a sellable horse, even with the damage on there. So don't fence me in. There are 2 listed and 6 sold in the last 90 days, anywhere between $100 and $150. So with the damage, I think if we price it, around the $75 mark and be sure to point out the damage, I think we can still move it. I think it'll do okay. Now here, we've got the best ones right here. These are the cream of our horse crop. Butterflies Run Free. We got like what is this, a monarch design on here? Super cool. And on the back, it goes on both sides. Really neat. And what do we think? First edition? Yeah, it is. First edition. So pretty good. It looks like a relatively low count there. I can't quite read that. Something 123. I don't know. 7,000? I don't know what it is. But it is a first edition because we've got the 1E. So that's good. See, $50 when you first bought it. These are good investment pieces. Some of them. You buy them at $50. And now this one, Butterflies, is one of the more desirable to pick up. There's only one listed. And like the one we talked about before, they're shooting for the moon when there's only one listed. Actually, they're shooting for, Mars. $799.99 is what the one listed is. They just don't sell for that much. There is one sold in the last 90 days. They took a best offer off of $250. They looking at Terapeak, there are an awful lot of these that have sold. This is one that will move relatively quickly once I list it. And the average on there is between about $150 and $220. So once again, thanks to our friend that is pricing very high, we can bump up our price as well. So I can list this in the neighborhood of $250 and $300, and I think get right there thanks to that high listing, because mine is going to be the only one available. And this one, it probably retired. Once they're retired, people have to get them on the secondary market. So this one in very nice shape. Happy with that. And then this one. This is the coolest one that I have found. This is the coolest painted pony that I've ever seen. You can see it's a skeleton horse, guys. They do release seasonal, so they release for a year. Sometimes specials and stuff like that, but they generally... So this was probably the fall release. There are a few scuff marks up here. I'll see if those come off. I don't know if that's going to wash off, because guess what, guys? This is glow-in-the-dark paint. Yeah, we're going to look at that here in a second. But Midnight Glow. This is a rare one. Like I said, there is some wear on the base, unfortunately. But it's a first edition. And look at that. Number 405. Very low in that run. And this was only $49 when it first came out. in 2014. So number 405 in the first edition for our skeleton horse. There is just one listed right now. And again, shooting for Mars, $799.99 for the one that's listed. There are 3 sold in the last 90 days at $199, $325, and $399. You look on Terapeak, the average is right around 300 over the last year for Midnight Glow. But because of our friend pricing it at $800, I'm going to price mine up. And so I could price this somewhere in the neighborhood of $400 to $500 and look really good next to somebody asking for $800. Right now, admittedly, that one says it's new, but mine's in pretty good shape. Oh, and let me show you what it looks like when the lights go out. It glows in the dark. How cool is this, you guys? That thing is so sick. I love it. All right, lights back on. Got them all back up here now. This is a good haul, guys. I spent, again, $240 to pick up our painted ponies. I've done the math figuring on the low end here. Once we take out fees and we take out that $240 buy cost, we're looking at an $865 profit. It might push $1,000 if we can get a little bit higher on some of these. So we're looking at potentially a $1,000 net profit. Now, in terms of other painted ponies to keep your eyes peeled for, there are a few that are like the butterfly, like the skeleton back there, high dollar. And top of that list is the Snow Queen. Really cool, translucent blue. This thing's awesome. You're going to get between $300 and $500 for the Snow Queen. There's also Fire and Ice. That one, again, in that $400, $500 range. The Gray Ghost, it's like a war horse look is this one. That one's going to go for about $300. Spooked, that's another one with the glow paint. That was a Halloween horse, $250 to $300 on that one. There's Night Flight. We got a Pegasus, $250 or so on that one. An Iron Horse, this one a railroad looking thing, really cool horse there. That one also about a $250 horse. These things are out there, guys, and some of them are worth a lot of money. I'm very happy to have picked these things up, and happy to be at the point in the business where an opportunity like this jumps up, and it's $240, and I can go, yeah, let's do it. I remember not that long ago when that would have been extremely intimidating to lay out that much money. And it's still a lot of money, and it's not necessarily easy. But, I have the confidence now that I can get that money back. And so the longer you do this, the more confidence you have in yourself, in your ability, and you can make those kinds of deals as well. So I hope that there was something that you got out of this. I hope now maybe you can keep your eyes open for painted ponies. I mean, even here in my little area, I've now found one particular pony twice. So they are out there, and you do have a chance of finding these. If you see any, let me know, because there's so many cool ones out there. If you pick any up, I'd love to check out what you picked up. Guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me today, and I'm going to let you go. I got to go get something to eat. We'll see you next time. That thing is so sick. I love it.